Start early and never stop. Hello and welcome to Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. On today's episode, veteran crash investigator and driver safety expert Mike Pehl shares practical lessons for parents on how to train their kids to become the great drivers that we want them to be. And of course, that has to do with start early and never stop. Of course, Natasha, can you talk about a little bit about what start early and never stop means?
Happy to. Let's talk about why it's prudent to teach your kids about driver safety. We've decided to grab one of our favorite lessons from our driver ed course and let Mike teach you the reason he says to parents that when it comes to teaching your teens to drive, start early and never stop. We call it Spunky Sammy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dang. Okay, so before I get going on this, let me just kind of back up a little bit because it's great, guys. And I want you to know when we teach them young, it's like whatever sport, whatever instrument, whatever they do in life, when you start them at 2 and 3, they seem to remember it. It's like the ABCs. Right now, if you're 50 years old, you can rap off the ABCs because you learned them at 2 or 3 years old. You don't even have to think to do that. And when that happens in driving, guess what we do forever once we get our license? We drive, drive, drive. We put on miles. We go past killer intersections our whole life. We go by drunk drive. There's not a day that you don't drive in a car that you have not crossed the path of someone on drugs or drunk. You're doing it. You don't even know you're doing it. You don't even know what the emotional situation of people in that car coming at you are. Are they suicidal? Are they on drugs? Are they on meth? Are they sick? Are they going to have a heart attack? You know what? Are they going to be texting? Are they going to, black out? Or, there's so many elements of every car that comes at you. And
Or they're distracted, I'm going to throw out.
Yes, distraction. And I've always said, get paranoid when you're in that car. Just get paranoid. It's someone's out to get you. Don't let it happen. Unintentionally, someone's out to get you. So I'm just going to say this. Oh, and before we go, in today's world, the town I live in, for $10, you can drive a golf cart on every road in our town except your state highways. Do you know what that does to a 12-year-old? Think about that. I can do pre-driver's ed to an 8-year-old on a golf cart. You can't put them in a real car until they're 15, but on a street-worthy golf cart, think about what we can do. That's just amazing. So now we can actually, I'm working on a program right now with the state. They're going to think it's the dumbest thing that ever worked, but it'll be good. Why can't
is
we?
the key word.
Yeah. Yeah. Why can't we start someone earlier? What's the difference if I have a golf cart and I'm wide open and I can go on little back streets and get the preliminary stuff done driving? Man, thumbs up, but we'll see what happens.
We can do that in Anoka too, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. No, yeah. So, check your town out, because if you can do that, get your kid out and start driving with them. Get away from the traffic. You see more. It's not busy. It's stay out of the town, but get on them back roads. So anyway, here's the story.
Don't do it in Minneapolis, but I mean,
yes,
a large city, but you could.
Yeah, large city, they're not going to probably be too friendly about that. But like I say, we can get permits here, and you get a license plate that says you can do that, and it's cool. So anyway, let's go back to Spunky Sammy. So Spunky Sammy happens to be my granddaughter, and when she was I don't know, 4 years old, three and a half, 4 years old, my daughter was taking me in a car to actually pick up a driver's ed car. And in the back seat behind my daughter was Sammy, and then next to her was her 1-year-old. So she was 3, because she was 3, and Nathaniel, her brother, was only 1. And we were driving down the road, and all of a sudden I saw these cars going by us, two ways traffic, 55 miles an hour. And I noticed my daughter had her rear view mirror pointed down, talking to them kids in the back seat. And of course, me, the calm guy I am, I said, Tara, what the heck are you doing? You just watched 5 head-on collisions go by you, and if one of them would have blown a left front tire and come over into your lane, had a heart attack, was drunk, texted, distracted, whatever, you just killed you and your daughter Sammy behind you. I'm sitting in the right seat. I'm probably going to live. That's the safest seat to be in, by the way. And Nathaniel, the 1-year-old in the back, is in the rear-facing car seat, and he's probably going to survive too, but probably not going to be very good for the rest of his life. We don't know. We just seem the statistic-wise, head-on collisions at 55 miles an hour, you don't usually walk away from them. And when you do live through them, it takes a long time to get your body, your organs, everything back to where it is, if you can do that. So anyway, I told her, if you're going to talk to these kids, so point A, if you're a rider in a car and your driver has the mirror adjusted to talk to you, they're not paying attention to the road. Okay. So this brings us to this story. So I said to my daughter, I said, you pull this car into the parking lot if you want to talk to them kids, and you talk to the kids, but you don't risk their life, your life, my life, all the people coming at us lives, because you want to be distracted on the number one killer, the head-on collision. And of course, she gives me the oh dad thing. And I go, no, no, don't oh dad me. And then I look in the back seat, and this little 3-year-old girl, eyes are big and blue and watery, and she's ready to cry. And she looks at me and she goes, Grandpa, don't you yell at my mommy. And I said, I'm not yelling at your mommy. Okay, because I wasn't. I was just in a stern voice talking to her. And I said, oh, Sammy, honey, I'm not yelling at your mom, but your mommy made a mistake, and I want you to help me fix it. So I want you to stare at this mirror, and anytime you see your mom's eyes or your dad's eyes or whoever driving the vehicle or the car that you're in eyes touch the mirror, I want you to yell, get your eyes back on the road. All right. So Sammy at 3 years old became the biggest pain in the butt you could have in the back seat. Get your eyes on the road, eyes on the road. Well, they lived really close to us, so they rode with me a lot. Well, there's 4 grandkids in that family. She's the oldest, but as they got older. So I told her about what happens when we don't look at a street, and a car goes through and you have a T-bone and it hits the door you're sitting by, you get crushed. It crushes your hip. If you survive it, your heart goes from 0 to whatever it is. It's not good. It's not pretty. So help me look. Okay. And then if that car up there has a head-on collision, we're going to go to the right, and we don't want to get close to another car. Well, anyway, Sammy became the biggest pain in the butt you could have in the car. And as life went on, she taught her 1-year-old brother to watch the mirror. And then they had Christopher, which would be 3, to watch the mirror. She became the teacher of her brothers. She was the only girl of her 3 younger brothers. All right. So the story goes this way. When Sammy's 6 years old and goes to kindergarten, she rides on the bus the first day and goes to school. So on the way home, the bus driver gets to our stop, her stop, and the bus driver actually puts the bus in park and gets out of the bus and walks over to my daughter and said, "What's with the kid?" She sits in the front seat, and every time I look at my passengers in the back, she yells, "Get your eyes on the road." Every time she didn't think I looked at a street, she says, "Thanks a lot. You just crushed my hip." So here's a 6-year-old girl telling a bus driver, front row seat, just telling him all this stuff. And then, of course, my daughter had to say, well, her grandpa happens to be a driving instructor. So, but you know what? I'm just telling you this. I taught her that at 3, and I said, you know what? I'm going to progress this as they get older. I got to tell you something, man. All 4 of them kids were observant drivers. I used to say, do this. I used to say to the younger all of them. Is it okay your way before I pulled out? Even knowing it wasn't, I maybe started to go just to see what they would do. I mean, these kids, for instance, the youngest boy, Dominic, I asked if it was okay his way. I said, okay, kids, everybody be quiet. This is Dominic's turn. Dominic, is it okay to pull out? And he goes, oh, yeah, Grandpa, it's okay. And it wasn't okay. And all of a sudden I started to go, and Sammy goes, Dominic, it's not, stop the car. It's not okay to go. You know, there's a car coming in. So all the other kids were looking and saw those cars come. So if you did our course, our curriculum, we have many stories in there about kids pulling out in traffic and getting killed. We actually have those stories. You know what? By teaching our kids young to get paranoid about looking, it's their life too. At 3, at 4, at 7, at 8, at 9, at 12, whatever. I tell you what harm does it do? All right. It does it's very, very good. They are very good. I ride with them when now Sammy just graduated from veterinarian school. So after 7 years of college, she's 26. Guess what? She has a 1-year-old. And she's already started to say, okay, now let's look. The 1-year-olds don't even know what's going on, but she's saying, look. So it's just kind of fun, so, but it's a good thing. So there you go.
Well, I think that's a great idea, is to start early and
Yeah.
never stop, because then they won't be afraid when it's time that they're driving, because they have had so much experience through other things,
Yep.
so that's wonderful. And we
All
like
good.
your stories, and we like your grandkids, and we
Yes.
like that you can teach other children and teach us to be better parents and all that jazz. So,
Don't tell anybody, but Sammy just got a speeding ticket.
what? Mm.
Yeah. And it was a little one. It was like 35 and a 30 in a little town coming back from,
Oh,
and
Oh,
and
really?
she calls her mom, my daughter, and says, Mom, don't let Grandpa know. Just don't let Grandpa know.
I know. He'll be so disappointed.
So
Well, at least it's the third.
my daughter told me, she says, but just wait till the day comes when she tells you where it comes out, because she is so worried about you finding out. So, but all
that's
good.
so funny.
So instead, we did put it on a podcast, so everyone.
Yeah, and nobody will ever find
No,
out.
I don't think that. Shh, don't tell.
She's gonna know I know
No
now,
one will
right?
notice, yes.
Yep. Yep.
Well, that's great. Well, you know what? If you learned something, don't keep it to yourself. Spread your new knowledge to your friends and family, because the earlier you teach your kids about driver safety, the better driver they will become. We also want to thank you for supporting our mission to create smarter, safer drivers. And if you want to find more episodes of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is YouTube/Drive Safe Ride Safe 1, which is the number, not the word. And of course, if you have any questions, you can email us at info@DriveSafeRideSafe, or you want to learn more about our driver ed programs, you can go to our website at drivesaferidesafe.com. We again thank you for watching. We really like the support and helping us grow our mission. And of course, until next time, always remember to
Drive safe.
Ride safe.
.com.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.